She said, but to hear that in my face, that you wouldn't be there for me, that's unfair. That is unfair. You know, she probably feels so unappreciated. She probably feel like, nigga, I could have just left your ass right the fuck in there and not even answer none of your damn funky ass calls, okay? She could have been like, you know what? That nigga's done. Canceled. Cut it out, Christmas. I got all this shit up here. I ain't got to be dealing with no jail shit. She could have been like that. She could have been like, you know what, nigga? Why the fuck would you do that dumb shit to land your ass in jail anyway? You know, she could have did all of that, and that's your fault for being there. That's not mine. So I have this over here to handle. I cannot deal with that right now. Stay over there. I will see you when you get out. Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Sassy Shantice. I'm coming back with another video. Yes, honey. Back with another one, girl. Okay, y'all, so just stay tuned right here, over here in these parts. Y'all, let's just get into this couples retreat episode 2. I loved it. It was a really good episode. It let us in on some of the couple's deep issues. So let's just start with Ray J and Princess. So the episode starts off with AJ, which is a life coach. I didn't tell y'all that last time because the video was getting too long. But AJ is a life coach there at the retreat to help the couples just sort their issues out. So AJ, at the end of the last episode, is asking Ray J, what do you want? Like, is this what you want? Is this the relationship that you want to be in? Or what's going on? What do you want? Princess is like, in her confessional, she's like, yeah, that's basically what I want to know. Do you want to be here or not? And so he storms off, goes over with the guys, and the guys are just talking to him. So one of Ray J's issues, what I guess the main issue, was the fact that he feels as though Princess went and told the whole world that he got a divorce on her without letting her know. She learned through social media that he got a divorce on her, you know, to her. AJ's pissed about that because he's worried about how, you know, the public, how we view him, how we look at him like, dang, that's kind of messed up that you would divorce somebody, file for papers, and not even tell them, and then they learn it on social media. So he's really messed up about that. And, I don't get why he's messed up about that because he's been in the public his whole life. You know, he is Brandy's sister, like I mentioned. You know, their mother and father made them out of who they are now. And I'm just thinking that somebody like that would be used to their business being out in the street, you know, even their personal business because you was on Love and Hip Hop doing all this type of shit to Princess. So, I mean, I don't know why he thinks this. He think we supposed to give a fuck about, you know, how he feel about that. That just threw me for a loop right there. But he goes on to say that that's my wife and there's stuff that Princess does and you guys don't know. And I'm not going to tell it because that's my wife and I don't want to disrespect her like that. But then VH1 shaded you, Ray J, because they showed a clip right after you saying that when you was talking to Kirk, talking about how you found lingerie in her purse. So, you know, you can say that, but then we seen a whole nother thing, and yeah, that's just how you go. AJ, the life coach, is talking to Princess, and she's like, you know, what is keeping you here with him? What is going on? She just basically like, you know, because of our kids. This is why I'm still here. It's because of the kids. And she like, and AJ was like, you know, but you can parent without the kids. You know, sometimes people are better apart than together and parent the kids like that because they just don't get along. They just don't match. Girl, you don't have to stay. You can let it go, girl. You know, just let the shit go. But I guess she caught up. We all had relationships like that, you know, growing up where we in a toxic situation and we just can't let it go because we saw it another way and we're going off of how it used to be. And it's just not popping no more and it's not going to be like that. So probably you should just let it go. But, you know, we all struggle with that. And yeah, I think Princess is struggling with that. And eventually, you know, I think the whole thing will diminish out. Maybe AJ has something up her sleeve to help the couple, but I don't know. I just think Ray J is ready to sow his wild oats and he wants to be out there. And he's blaming Princess for every and anything just to make her look like the bad guy so he can be out. You know, I think he wants her to just wait at home and she not with it, like I said last time. So the next thing, y'all, is Mandici's asking Rada. So y'all know Rada is Michael Blackson's girlfriend. Of like almost 2 years. So they have this like open type of relationship where they be having like twosomes, threesomes, and fivesomes. That's what you said, girl. You know, you said y'all be doing all that. And DC's is asking her. And Yandy is there and everybody is there. And he's just like, you know, I don't really know people who are engaged in these type of relationships, having twosomes and threesomes and everything else. And so he asked her, does it have to be the same person every time? And she was like, yeah, it does, you know, because there possibly could be no emotional attachment, You know, I mean, even if it's no emotional attachment, maybe she got good, so he want to keep going back there. So it doesn't matter. You know, I really don't think it matters. And in this type of situation, if someone wants to be and do other people outside the relationship, there's really no rules to stuff. Like, I don't understand why Rod is trying to put rules to this, because just like Michael Blackson said, okay, now you're in love, which he wasn't trying to shade her, you know what I'm saying? But just like he said, you knew the rules. You know, I told you, and even she admitted that, yeah, he did tell me that he liked, you know, other people outside the relationship. He would want to entertain stuff like that. And that's how our relationship was going. Michael Blackson was saying he basically wants it that way and let her know up front, because he just doesn't want her to think there's going to be anything different. And he basically doesn't want her thinking that, you know, he has to stop talking to all these random bitches, because he's trying to prevent the cheating thing, you know? So he just doesn't want to come off like he's cheating on her and everything. And he wants to keep the relationship the same, you know? But she ain't trying to hear. She want more than that. AJ, the life coach, made up a game called Stuck, where you are stuck in your relationship and what type of problems that you're having, and if you are contributing to those problems or not, or maybe it's your partner. So she says that she's going to call off several categories, and if the category pertains to you, then you should stay stuck right there where you are. Do not move forward. If you are not stuck and you move forward, that means that you do not have that issue in your relationship. So she calls out immaturity. Okay, so off the break, Rod is like, no, honey, you need to stay right here because you are very immature, so you don't need to go nowhere. She tells Michael that. Lack of romance, Raymond moves forward, Delicious stays stuck. So basically, Delicious is stuck in romance. She was saying how, you know, she just doesn't have that same romantic feel and gives off to him like she did when they first got married. So when AJ calls out no insecurities, Mendeecees steps forward. Okay, y'all. And Yandy totally disagrees. She said, no, that is so not right. You know, and Mendeecees needs to, like, stay stuck right where he was at. He shouldn't move forward, because the whole time when he was locked up, he was all insecure, like asking her, you know, telling her, you know, oh, I see you put on lipstick today. I see you going out, because he did have a means to social media, so he could basically see everything. So he just was bitching at her about stuff going on out in the outside world that she was doing. And yeah, that looks insecure. Infidelities came up. Kirk steps forward, y'all. Okay, and Rashida stays there, stuck. And Rashida just can't even believe it. She like, really? Okay, you gonna move up? So basically, I'm back here stuck by myself, and you gonna move up like, you know, the shit is gone in the wind. You're not even tripping off of infidelities, the whole baby that you had outside of the relationship. I said to myself, like, I already knew that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew that Kirk was going to move forward, because he ain't tripping no more. You the only one going to be tripping. You have forgave him. And yeah, you can't go forward because you're never going to forgive him for anything like that. You have to live with a baby that probably resembles him. You have to deal with her family, the whole other side. You have to co-parent with this other lady. You have to watch him be loving and supportive to his child that you have nothing to do with. So yeah, you are going to be stuck, honey. You're going to be stuck for the entire rest of your life. It's never going to go away. Ever going to go away. You know, you're always probably going to have that pain in your heart, that ache in your heart where, you know, I can't believe he did. Because, y'all, that has got to be devastating. Still to this day, I don't understand how Rashida can do it. But like I said in the other video, she better than me, because I know I couldn't do it. Let's move on, because I can keep talking about that. And no, I'm not going there today. Mistrust. So Rashida says, I guess I'm stuck in mistrust too. You know, yeah, because that probably goes right along with it. I just can't even imagine how that would feel. So it's probably mistrust, you know, a little bit of anxiety if he gonna stop messing with this chick again. You know how baby mother and baby father do. You don't know what they doing. You know, so Mendeecees and Raymond sits down. This conversation is really, really interesting that they have. And it gave you a little bit of insight to people who are or have been incarcerated. And it was a bit touching. At the same time, Delicious and Yandy are at the pool. They looking yummy too, honey. But they get down to talking about their men, you know. And I guess this kind of was set up like this. VH1 set the whole scenes like this because both couples got to talk and see where each other was coming from. So Mendeecees and Raymond are talking. So Mendeecees is basically explaining to Raymond, you know, what he went through in jail and how he does have these insecurities. He didn't say the word insecurity, but, you know, we could read between the lines if that's what you were saying, girl. So he basically was saying he grew a little resentful of not Yandy, he said the situation, because he felt like other people was being emailed, oh, good morning, good afternoon. You know, they had a lot of contact with their significant other. They were just always calling, and Yandy wasn't. You know, he just felt like kind of abandoned, if you will, in jail by Yandy. So Mendici tells Raymond that he had social media, you know, while he was in it. He was able to get social media, and he could see everything, basically a lot of what Yandy was doing. And if she could sit up there and party, and y'all should have, so it was kind of trifling the way VH1 did it. He was saying how, you know, like I was just saying, people were getting emails every day, good morning, good night, good afternoon, all this stuff. And he just felt like Yandy could have been doing the same thing. And as he's saying this, VH1 is showing clips of her on IG partying with her friends, you know. So it kind of made Yandy look like the bad person in the situation. But I just think that she did the best she could. You know, she was raising kids, 2 kids alone. She has several businesses. You know, she's all of IG. I follow her. She's all of IG with probably like 3 or 4 businesses. So, and then has to take care of sending him stuff, making sure she talked to him, answering his call. She said, I did the best I could, and I think I did a damn good job, you know? Yeah, she basically held it down for him and everything. So Yandy and Delicious are out at the pool at the same time the guys are talking. Yandy is saying how Mendici's just had these like night terrors, you know? How he just would be jumping in his sleep all the time. And Delicious was like, oh my God, try 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. I would go through that. And she said, I would ask him, you know, what's going on? Is it me? Is it jail? What is it? And you know, they never really gave an answer. So we all know that it probably was the jail. You know what I mean? Going through that in jail, probably the banging of the bars, the yelling and the screaming, how they do in there, the fighting, not knowing who's coming for you, if you're going to get stabbed, raped, anything. So all of those type of things probably led to an anxious thing, an anxiety at home. And when they went to sleep and their body was totally at rest, it probably just couldn't be totally at rest. You know what I mean? So they are still conditioned, institutionalized, like Raymond was saying. So I thought that was a good connection that Delicious and Yandy had, you know, to connect like that. And I hope that friendship stays, because a lot of times when people connect like that on these reality shows, you'll see that it's different later on, and they get, you know, shady with each other and start telling each other business, maybe if they confided in each other and everything, and they just start going to the left, the whole relationship. But I hope this relationship works out for both of the 2 ladies. AJ actually asked AJ to sit down, you know, one-on-one. He didn't want to do any therapy with the groups. So AJ is sitting there, and so, you know, the whole situation just went to the left, because AJ didn't want to figure out what's going on. You know, as soon as she struck a nerve, then he got all mad and walked off. You know, I get that Ray J just doesn't want to hear it, and if you're not hearing and agreeing with him, he's one of those type of people, like he don't want to hear. Like, I hate people like that. Not hate, but I dislike people who do that. We're having a conversation and you can't stay within the conversation because I struck a nerve of reality. Like AJ told him, oh, now since everything is coming to the forefront and it's being too real for you, you can't take it. So, you know, people do that and then they walk off, you know, and then the conversation is over and the whole thing just went to shit because of the immaturity on their part. So yeah, that's the type of person he is. You know, you can't have a discussion with him. He's not up for that. You know, he has no growth. He doesn't want to learn new things. He doesn't want to see that he may be wrong and some of the wrongness played a part in his ruin of the relationship. But at the same time, he came back on there and told me, I thought if you was here to help, you supposed to help. Boy, ain't nobody got time for them little ass boy games. Like, that shit is stupid. If you want help, sit there and listen to what the fuck somebody got to say. Don't be sitting up there getting an attitude because somebody said something that you don't like and now you feeling all threatened, but you supposed to be all this and that, and you can't even listen to what somebody has to say. You can't even have a whole conversation with somebody and say, you know what? If they said something that you didn't like, you know what? I didn't know that people see it like that. Hold on. Maybe, you know, take a minute and try to understand what the other person is coming from. And then that way, when it's time for you to say what you need to say and get some clarity on the problems that you have with them, then they can say, you know, well, damn, I didn't see it that way. And maybe you can get some type of understanding between the two. But there is never any understanding when one person is not willing to listen to the other person's gripe about what they feel that has been done wrong to them. You know, Been through that, done that, and I'm so over all of that. And yeah, that's already been through that. And y'all, I'm not having any more conversations with people who cannot even listen to when they're wrong and when the other person is trying to tell them so, and when somebody trying to pour out their heart. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is that? Like, I would never want to be in that type of person's skin, and I can't take dealing with a person like that, so I will bow gracefully. Pieces, deuces to you, boo. And whoever you with, because it ain't even that damn serious. Next. Okay, y'all, so the couples gather together, honey, okay? They're gathered together, and it's really nice saying. It's dark outside. It's these nice teepee lights. I think that's what they call, I don't know. But it's these really nice, like, beach lights outside, you know, and everybody is there. So before anything gets started, AJ is like, look, is there anybody who wants to leave? Because, you know, basically, I ain't going to quote her in anything. Shit about to get real. That's basically what she was saying. You know, shit about to get real. If you don't like it, you can leave. So does anybody want to leave? Princess raises her hand, and I don't blame her. She was like, yeah, I'm ready to leave because why am I even here? Like, I don't feel like doing exercises by myself. I'm over this. Ray J is not participating in anything, and this is not getting me anywhere. So she walks off. AJ tells her, yeah, you know, I respect what you're saying. I respect you, girl. Go ahead and leave. And so Princess walks off. Kirk and Rashida is the first couple. Steps up to the chairs in the middle of the circle. Because there's like a middle circle with chairs and stuff. Everybody else is on the outside. I guess maybe for support and stuff. I like the whole like scenery, the whole look, the whole feel, the whole vibe, girl. So Rashida and Kirk is first. And so AJ asks, you know, I know you, Rashida, been having a complaint about spending more time together, you know, and y'all been busy with y'all businesses and everything. And, you know, I'm glad you're here. What do you think about that? Kirk says, you know, I mean, I guess we here now. I mean, we stuck here now. Girl, stuck. Rashida was like stuck. Her and AJ at the same time was, and me was at the same time was like stuck. Damn, like if somebody says stuck, like, okay, girl, stuck. Is that how you feel? So yeah, we supposed to be here working out stuff and being together and kind of getting away from the kids and relaxing, but you feel like stuck. That's the type of word that you use. That's what come to mind. So girl, gave him the blues about that. And so he like, I mean, I ain't mean it like that. You know, I really didn't. And so he started trying to dig his way out of it. So Mendici told Yandy, oh my God, he digging a hole for himself. Because that's exactly what he was doing. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, who said stuck? Kirk is asked, you know, do you have any infidelity issues? So you can see it all in Kirk's face. He like, done. Infidel. I mean, like he said it, and I was thinking the same shit. Okay, everybody already know the story. Like, what are we supposed to rehash all of this again? Like, I'm supposed to say, okay, I cheated, I had a baby on her, and y'all want to know all that again. Everybody knows the story. She was like, yeah, okay, well, we do know the story, but how do you feel about it? Like, what's going on? He was just basically like, look, I had a 15-year run with my wife, with Rashida, and I had done nothing the whole entire time. Me and Rashida, we broke up. We weren't together at the time. I met the girl at the strip club. So what else do you want me to say? We weren't together. You know, it was 15 years I hadn't done anything, but I know I'm not going to give her credit for that. That's what he said, and I was thinking, yeah, no, you shouldn't even mention none of that shit because don't nobody give a fuck about the fact that you ain't do nothing for 15 years. You did something after 15 years and one day. So it doesn't really matter, does it, Kirk? No, honey. Anyway, so yeah, he was just annoyed, you know? Which I guess should be if you're on the other shoe, you know, if you are not the one who took the newborn child. So yeah, I just felt like, you know, he was annoyed and you could see that. And then he also was complaining about he tried to touch his wife. She wasn't really with it and everything. And she paused. She was like, no, hold on. But I was having issues of my own. Like I had postpartum, y'all. And so postpartum, y'all know that that's the depression after the baby. And she was like, I had postpartum. You know, I felt like not myself. I didn't even feel like myself. So I didn't even want to do anything like that. And yeah, I just was not even like in the relationship. I knew I was wrong, but you know, what you did to me does not warrant that. Like you should just never went out and did what you did. So AJ says, you know, well, y'all need to lay out a plan if y'all want to make it work to go towards the future on this, you know? And so he like, well, I don't know. I don't think we need to make out a plan. What plan, you know? And Rashida was like, no, we need to make out a plan. If we can make our business plan for all of the businesses that we have, we can make out a plan for our marriage. You know, and if I had to explain something like that to a nigga, like, what the fuck? Like, I shouldn't even be having to say this to you. You should be waiting, wanting, and willing to do any and everything to make this union work. You know, but yeah, see, that's the type of shit I'm talking about, girl. And then you going on with that, like, that's dumb. So let's just get to the meat and potatoes of the whole thing. So Yandy and Mendeecees are talking. So he's complaining about how she wasn't there for the emails and the phone calls. Everybody else was getting phone calls, all this other type of stuff, and she didn't answer her phone. When she was out partying, she could have been writing them an email and stuff the same time she was doing that. Like, it just went on. He just seemed very needy. And Mendeecees would never admit that, but he seemed very needy. You know, and then he also mentioned that his mom neglected him. So I think that may have something to do with it. So I'm curious to see what that's about, because I think since his mom abandoned him and left him, he has some abandonment issues, and he thinks that Yandy is going to do the exact same thing. So he's afraid of that. So Yandy asked Mendeecees the magical question, okay? She asked him, if the roles were reversed, would you do the same thing for me? And y'all, Mendeecees look dead in the camera, honey. And so Mendeecees tells her, if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't know what I would be able to do. First of all, you up there complaining about stuff that I didn't do when you was locked up, when I gave all that I can, all that I have, all that I am. And you want me to give all of that and more, but then I ask you something, you gonna act 50 like you wouldn't even do the same for me, like you don't have my back the same way? Why? Because you mad, you being spiteful, you being mean to me, the person who had your back the whole entire time. That's how you feel? On top of that, on national TV to embarrass me like that? Y'all, Yandy was so damn hurt, and I don't blame her. That shit was wrong. So damn wrong on so many levels. He could have kept that shit to himself. You hear me? Kept it right to himself. But he gonna say, if the shoe was like a little bitch, if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't know how I would do. And meant it, honey, and looked kind of, it looked like he had a smirk on his face, because I rewinded it. It looked like he had a smirk on his face, y'all, when he said the shit, like he was trying to get under her skin. And I said, ooh, you better, girl. Mendeecees acting like a bitch-ass nigga. I was mad that Mendeecees did that because, you know, Yandy was really, really hurt. She said people will always ask her, you doing all that stuff. You know, will he do the same for you? And she was comment. She said, she would say, yeah, because we love each other. She said, but to hear that in my face, that you wouldn't be there for me, that's unfair. That is unfair. You know, she probably feels so unappreciated. She probably feel like, nigga, I could have just left your ass right the fuck in there. You have a home to come to when you get out. What if she would have did that? What if she would have gotten in? Who knows? That's something to think about. That's really something to think about, you know, because he required all of that out of her. And then she gave the majority of what he thought was sufficient. You know, he did say, you know, yeah, she was there for me. She did this, she did that. But then when it comes to how he wanted it to be all the way, she didn't give. So now you're going to basically smack her in the face, give her your ass to kiss because she didn't do everything. Nobody gives us everything we want, y'all. That's just it. Nobody gives you everything you want. So you have to take the bitter with the sweet, you know. But for you to treat her in that way and act as if, you know, I just don't know what I would do. Okay, I don't know what I would do. Like, you don't have her back at all. And then on top of that, your kids probably saying that, boo. Your kids probably saying that. And that, for Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship, was and I don't know whether Mendeecees looked at it like this, but all this reality TV shit is like on 1,000. Like, it's on and popping, y'all. Like, I'm a reality TV junkie. You know, a lot of people are. And that story, that situation right there that he said, I don't know, and she asked him that question, that is going down in history. That situation is going down in history. So your kids has to watch that. And you better be prepared for when they ask you about that, because that was wrong. That is the end of this video, because that's the end of the episode. And I will see you guys later. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, check out more videos of mine under Sassy Shantice. On IG, I am Sassy Shantice, as well as on YouTube, Sassy Shantice. And then on Facebook, I am Donna Hampton. I will see you ladies and gents later. Bye.